98.1. Business Express. Brought to you by EnterSwitch. Transaction solutions you can depend on.
Smooth 98.1, love music, love life. Welcome to Business Express on Smooth 98.1. This segment is brought to you by EnterSwitch. Of course, leading us through conversations as always this morning is Rotus. Rotus, good morning.
Good morning, Kayode. Good morning to all our viewers on YouTube and all our listeners at home. Good to be with you. Hump of the week, Wednesday. Let's get it.
That's right. If you're out there and you want to be a part of our conversation, please reach out to us on WhatsApp, 0809-444-0981. We're also taking messages up on our Twitter platform. It's hashtag Business Express 981, but send them to Smooth 981. Okay. Rotus, what are we talking about this morning?
We're talking about rice and oil, which is stuff that you get at the end of Christmas from your companies. They give rice and oil at the end of every year. Beginning with rice, at the unveiling of the rice pyramids yesterday in Abuja, President Buhari gave an address, talked about the increase in rice production, said that Nigerians should have a little patience with regards to the price of rice coming down. He hailed the central bank governor, Godwin Emefiele, for his efforts in the Anchor Borrowers program, which he launched in 2015, right as the Buhari administration was just beginning. Rice production has gone from just under 4 million metric tons a year between 1999 and 2005 to over 7 million metric tons in 2021. That's about an 87% increase. In his address, Godwin Emefiele made a point to address Nigeria's farmers. And I thought it was very pertinent that he did that. He said that Nigerian farmers should be recognized for their sacrifice, talked about them being like frontline healthcare workers during a pandemic or frontline soldiers during a war, talking about, what they've been through in the country with insecurity. I mean, he pretty much laid out the fact that insecurity, has impacted the farmers more than everyone else. We sit here on radio, people sit on television, analysts and so on have been talking about this insecurity from afar. But he made it a point to thank the farmers for just being survivors and still being able to go out there, try and produce what they can to survive and also assist in Nigeria's food production goals. So, and he pointed out, look, farmers have lost their lives to insecurity, which is, if you think about what the central bank has done through the Anchor Borrowers program, they financed about 5 million or 4.8 million farmers, which have led to increased cultivation of land and so on and so forth. But that's just the monetary side. That's just financing on one side. There's still the security issue, whereby the fiscal side, the federal government, has to quell insecurity in order for farmers to be able to get to their farms and provide output. Because if you go to your farm and you can't contribute to output, supply is going to be impacted. If supply is impacted, you're going to see an increase in price. And we've seen that in the recent uptick in inflation figures.
Yes.
We had a guest yesterday, a guest analyst who took us through all what was going on with food prices and what is impacting food prices. And insecurity is a major issue. So
the major factor.
I thought it was very thoughtful and empathetic of the central bank governor to address farmers directly, because everybody else there that was talking, they were addressing the president. You're well done to your administration. You've done a lot for food security. You've done a lot to increase rice production. And the governor, central bank governor, used to thank the president, but he was the only one, the only top official, because there were a lot of governors, Fayemi of Ekiti State, all these other governors were there talking about what agriculture has meant to their respective states. But he, to my memory, if I remember everybody speaking, I think was one of the only people who made it a point to talk to farmers directly and say, hey, thank you for everything you've done. We appreciate your efforts and we understand what you're going through. So now it is on the federal government to put that into action to protect our farmers. You know, security is a big issue. It's going to be one of the biggest issues in the upcoming election. But it is an economic
the situation now
because of the impact.
Yes. If you're out there and you want to, add your thoughts to our conversation this morning, feel free to send us messages on the platforms I've mentioned earlier. On WhatsApp, it's 0809-444-0981. And on Twitter, please use the hashtag BusinessExpress981. So Nedu sends a funny one here. He actually sends a picture, and I'm going to send that to you, Rotus. He says, he talks about the pyramid. He talks about how it's more wood than rice. He's been a little bit sarcastic here. He sends a picture to buttress his point. This one here says, apparently trailer loads of rice must have come all over from Kebbi to Nasarawa to build these pyramids in Abuja, just for the photos. In 2022, could this stockpiling for the ABP success show-off have caused some form of scarcity with attendant price increase? Thank you to farmers for going through the insecurity though. Okay, so this is Unikoi talking about that. This one here from Austin says, good morning. I heard that the rice pyramid were built with wooden planks. They're now stacked rice or bags on it. Nigerians, all those bags of rice were packed on wood. Okay, so I think everybody's talking about the same thing really. The picture circulates, and so everyone's talking about how it's more of a wooden pyramid than just rice. But what do you make of that?
Interesting observations there. Yeah, I mean, look, the government, you understand that, the government has to
make it some way.
So, yeah, it has to do it somewhere, somehow. It has to make a show of the improvements that have been made. And again, we talked about it, I think on Monday or so. Imports from Thailand, for instance, they've dropped significantly. Over 1.1 million metric tons we imported from Thailand back in 2014. Now it's about 276,000 metric tons. So the numbers have dropped. So, and also there was lockdowns and so on. Borders were shut. So production has increased. Now it's just a matter of seeing that improvement on price. We have to see that in price, but the government has to show that, look, the efforts and investment that we put into rice production, here it is. And so you get that, those big, so on and so forth. So oil is at $88 a barrel. We haven't seen this since the Goodluck Jonathan administration in, I think, October 2014. There's the Houthi thing going on with drone attacks over in the United Arab Emirates and so on. So that spooked oil traders. Unfortunately, we can't really say that Nigeria will get taken advantage of this rise in oil prices because we've still got production issues. OPEC, Organization of Petroleum Exporting Countries, has put in production curbs that has reduced the output of a number of countries to support prices as the COVID has impacted, movement and so on. I mean, things are opening up, so things are turning around. But Nigeria's oil infrastructure, vandalized pipelines. I mean, I think we're supposed to be doing 1.6 million barrels per day. We barely did 1.4, 1.2 in December of last year. So, I mean, you can imagine if you sell chewing gum and chewing gum prices skyrockets, but unfortunately, you look at your inventory and you don't have that much chewing gum to sell, or you're selling less than before, you can't really take advantage of the price increases, right? Because you need, it's price times your volume that you sell that can give you profits. So Nigeria has to quickly get her infrastructure up to speed in order to be able to, again, vandalism, insecurity, pipeline destruction, oil bunk
together. They're all connected.
That has to be addressed.
Got a few messages here. By the way, don't forget we're streaming live on YouTube, so please head on down to our YouTube page. It's youtube.com/smooth981FM Lagos, and your messages still come to 0809-444-0981. EK comes in to say, do we know whether imports into Benin Republic have dropped? Okay, that's a question to you, Rotus. And he, this one here says, the wooden pyramid rice pictures is from when Ogun State did it during the Bikole administration. Just saying, this is Bolaji Olawale. And Ogedachugu comes in to say, these rice pyramids, is this rice pyramid, it is actually real. There is wood plan attached to it. This totally different from the ground-up pyramid. And So generally, they just talk about the pyramids. This one from Gilbert. Gilbert says, on insecurity, the government has not demonstrated the willpower and insecurity since 2015. In April 2014, we had the kidnap of the Chibok girls in the state. Till date, Borno is not safe. And Shale comes in to see, we keep talking about the reduction in importation from Thailand, but forget about what comes in from Benin Republic. Only official import numbers being peddled. And yeah, so those are some of the stories that we have. Real quick though,
Yeah,
this
so
one,
anyone that's interested in getting those numbers, I've shared with you some charts, and we talked about this on Monday. So anyone who wants to see it, I did a chart, and I can send it to you. So forward it to anybody that's interested, or even put it on the maybe you can tweet it as well.
on the
Maybe I'll.
Smooth FM page.
So yeah, so if you take a look at the orange bar on imports from Thailand, exports to Benin Republic have come down. So to be fair, yeah, while they were coming down in Nigeria, they were rising in Benin Republic. So, and the World Bank has said about 80% of the rice that goes into Benin Republic is smuggled into Nigeria. As recently as, in fact, there's a quote I want to read. As recently as November last year, someone in the rice value chain was also complaining about, yeah, this is from Peter Dama, chairman of the Rice Millers Association of Nigeria. He said, this was November of last year. This was an article in the Punch. He said, we have complained and drawn government's attention to the fact that smuggled rice is coming through our borders and that they should take action. They have made promises, but up till now, we have not seen anything done adequately to stop the smuggling of rice into Nigeria. They bring rice to our neighboring countries and smuggle it into our country. It is very unfortunate and is affecting our efforts. So imports from rice going into Benin has come down, right? But rice is still going into Benin Republic and also Cameroon. The numbers have come down, but it's still happening. So while you can celebrate increase in production in Nigeria, rice production, while you can celebrate reduction of imports from Thailand, as our listeners have noted in their messages, they are correct. And these numbers show they're still coming through Benin. But even maybe because of COVID and supply chain issues and so on, those numbers have reduced. So, but there's still work to be done to close our borders. Rice is not, rice is big, right? I mean, to smuggle rice, you need a big giant trailer. So what is customs and border patrol? What are they doing? You know, so you got to ask those questions.
All right. Thank you so much, Rotus. We're totally out of time, but always a pleasure having you here. And like you mentioned, anyone out there that needs those charts that you discussed, we're going to be, you know, well, you can.
Oh yeah, wait, real. Yes, real. And I keep forgetting because of the Twitter ban. My Twitter handle Rotan Quote. So ROTANKWOT. Just chat on Twitter as usual, and at Smooth91 FM as well on Twitter, so we can continue our conversation.
All right. Thank you so much, Rotus. Lagos, there's more to come. In a few more minutes, it's going to be freshly pressed 981. So please recommend that